Sirat. So the lesson that we're going to discuss for this subject is the topic selecting and organizing information. Okay, by the way, the lessons that you're going to encounter in this subject are mostly already discussed in APT subject. But the thing is, in reading and writing, it's more of application. So there are lots of activities for this subject, but let's try to cover them if we can. So let's start. So lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you'll be able to differentiate the techniques in selecting and organizing information, practice brainstorming techniques, and prepare a graphic organizer, topic outline, and sentence outline. So I know you guys are already familiar with these lessons. So before we proceed to our proper lesson discussion, so let's have a warm-up activity. So here's the instruction. Choose two of your all-time favorite movies. Compare and contrast them in terms of plot, settings, characters, cinematography, and audience reception using the Venn diagram below, which means that you choose two two of your all-time favorite movies, then you cite their similarities and differences. Okay, you just have to choose one among these elements, such as either the plot, settings, characters, cinematography, and audience reception. So any of these elements. So you just have to select one. Any of these elements when you compare your two all-time favorite movies. So I would like to call Junmar. Junmar, wala na ako nakamute. As Junmar. Si Daryl na lang.
Ano to, sir?
Choose two of your all-time favorite movies. You compare and contrast, meaning you cite their similarities and differences. Then you choose only one or at least one of the elements, either the plot, setting, character, cinematography. You cite their differences and similarities. Sa
Ay,
character ba, sa plot,
ano
sa
katong
setting.
sa ayaw. Katong sa Marvel na lang.
Sige, what's with Marvel Cinematic
Katong
Universe?
Justice League og kuan. Ano to? Katong isa Civil War to. Katong ending, katong kalaban sa Thanos.
The
Katong
Endgame?
ano? Endgame. Ano?
Sir,
Murag
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, ang sa mic ganini mo, sir, kay murag na ay hangin, sir, nasaba kayo.
It's in. Wait lang nga. Palayo na ako kung electric fan. Sa ko siguro ng electric fan. Saba gihapon. Na siya noise.
Okay na, sir.
Okay na.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Salamat po. Sige, go. Proceed, Daryl. Continue.
ang sa plot nila, sir, kay ano? Sa Civil War kay ano? Sino naman siguro sila kay nindot magud ano? More
The
on
main
action
characters were the ones who put a conflict. Pumunta sa
Yes,
Civil
sir.
War.
Mm.
Team Iron Man versus Team Captain America. Pumunta sa Civil War. But
Ay.
in Endgame,
Ay, sa Justice League man to, sir. Katong na sila Wonder Woman, good sir.
Ang Civil
Na sila
War.
Aquaman.
Civil War
Justice
kay
League.
ano, mangyapon to Marvel, mangyapon to.
Katong sa Justice League, sir ba?
O sige, what's with the Justice League? Actually, dili kay ko fan sa ano sa Justice League na movie sa ilaha lang kung animated series.
Video same lang man sila sa plot, sir.
What's their similarities sa plot nila?
More on, ano yun, sir? Ang action good. Parang sa Marvel, sir, baka ng hero good.
It's a typical sci-fi films or mga action films. That's what you mean.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daryl. Okay. Nowadays, you are bombarded with different kinds of information from books, newspapers, magazines, and of course, the internet. Going through this amount of information is not the only challenge. We also have to come up with effective ways of processing them. So, I know you guys are all users of internet. I know you have your social media account. So, for example, in Facebook, as you can see in your news feed, there are a lot of articles posted by different media outlets. So, it's very important when you look at the news, you need to read not just the headline, because most of the time headlines are misleading, meaning what you read on the title of that article is not the entire meaning or what the entire content of the article. So it's very important that you assess, you evaluate the information presented by that article, written by various media outlets. Kasi um, whether we like it or not, Philippines is it's very prominent with sensationalized news, meaning mahilig og kanang chismis, no, ana. And one of the problems that we're facing right now is that we have low comprehension skills, meaning most Filipinos find it hard to understand the meaning of their what they're reading. So it's a big challenge for all of us how to grasp the or how to process the information that we are reading. Okay, hence, one important ingredient to successful reading and writing is our ability to generate, select, and organize ideas. This can be done through brainstorming, making a graphic organizer, and outlining. So even though we were experiencing problems when it comes to the information that we're reading, but we can do something about it. So it's very important that we have the literacy skills that we needed in order to scrutinize the information and not become victims of fake news. So first of the skills that it's very important to use when it comes to reading and writing is brainstorming. So just what I have mentioned during our class in APP, that you cannot separate reading and writing. Kasi these two macro skills are interrelated. So in order for you to write a comprehensive composition, you need to read a lot of references or resources. So first off is brainstorming. Brainstorming is a group creativity technique by which efforts are made to find a conclusion for a specific problem by gathering a list of ideas spontaneously contributed by its members. So basically, brainstorming um, is an activity that can be employed by a group. So all the members must contribute to the task that we're doing. So you need to throw a lot of ideas, okay, to share what are your thoughts about the task or activity that you need to complete. So, kailangan mag-share mong ideas so that um, you need to understand that there's no monopoly of knowledge. Meaning, it's not the only you that can contribute or create something. So, you need the help of other people. That's why it's very important that you need to know how to brainstorm with other people. Okay. You can brainstorm effectively either by creating an idea list or making an idea map. So these are the uh, two things that you may use when it comes to brainstorming, making a list and making a map. Okay. We say idea list simply involves listing ideas about a particular topic. It also helps you find the main idea and supporting details from the numerous ideas listed. So it's very basic when it comes to idea list. So you need to identify first what topic would you like to deal with, what topic would you like to write, and then you list all the possible factors or aspects that are related to your main topic, such as this example. If you want to write about unemployment, so what are the things that are related to unemployment? So you list down all the possible aspects that you can relate to your main topic, which is unemployment. So we have jobs, poverty, salary, lack of education, lack of jobs, low salary, lack of money, fresh graduates, so on and so forth. So you can list as many as you can as long as you know how to construct properly, or you know how to relate these terms to your main topic. Next, we have idea map. It's a visual representation of ideas and their connections with one another. So idea map, um, it's visual representation of the topic and the supporting details that would you like to write. So from idea list, you can come up with this kind of um, visual representation. It's more organized. It's because you can um, you can chunk or divide or deconstruct the ideas based on their main topic. Although meron kang specific topic talaga such as unemployment, you can divide the ideas by organizing which aspect is this. Like for example, lack of jobs, lack of motivation, layoff. Ito yung if we're going to analyze, para mga causes to siya, the causes of unemployment. So the effects, so if there are causes, meaning there are effects, such as lack of money, emotional problems, family problems. So you can separate the ideas into more detailed if visual idea map gamitin. Next, we have graphic organizers. A graphic organizer, also known as a knowledge map. Wait lang. Hmm. Hmm. Wait lang, naghang akong ano. Wait lang guys ha. Okay, graphic organizers. A graphic organizer, also known as ah, sorry guys, wait lang dyan Okay, a graphic organizer, also known as a knowledge map, concept map, story map, cognitive organizer, advanced organizer, or concept diagram, is a pedagogical tool that uses visual symbols to express knowledge and concepts through relationships between them. The main purpose of a graphic organizer is to provide a visual aid to facilitate learning and instruction. So, graphic organizers usually utilized in education. So it's a visual representation of the ideas presented in a text. So it's very easy to use. It's because you just have to identify what kind of paragraph that you are reading, and then uh, based on that paragraph, we can come up the appropriate graphic organizers that will show the ideas being presented on the text. First, we have Venn diagram. Of course, this is the one that we use in our warm-up activity. A Venn diagram is an illustration that uses circles to show the relationships among things or finite groups of things. Circles that overlap have a commonality, while circles do not overlap do not share those traits. Venn diagrams help to visually represent the similarities and differences between two concepts. They have long been recognized for their usefulness as educational tools. So in Venn diagram, you're going to compare and contrast, meaning you provide the similarities and differences. So for example, in this uh, illustration, as you can see, there are two circles. Seeing the spaces that do not overlap, these are the sections or parts wherein you need to provide their differences, the things that you're comparing and contrasting. So dito naman sa part na nag-overlap, meaning that's their similarities. So that's how we're going to use Venn diagram, the similarities and differences. Next, we have network tree. Network tree is used to represent hierarchy, classification, and branching. It is useful in showing relationships of scientific categories, family trees, and even lineages. So the network tree, usually, it's an organizational chart. So, for example, in an institution, um, organizational chart can be used in order to show the positions of the employees sa company. So um, from the highest official or highest position down to the lowest position. That's an example of network tree. Um, it also can be used when you make a family tree. Yung genealogy nyo. For example, yung grandparents nyo, then parents, and you as children and your siblings. That's an example of network tree. And yung sa sa biology, yung sa classification ng species, that's an example of when you categorize the uh, specific species of one animal family. Then next we have spider map. Spider map, sometimes called a semantic map, is a type of graphic organizer that is used to investigate and enumerate various aspects of a single theme or topic, helping the student to organize their thoughts. It looks a bit like spider's web, hence its name. Yung spider map, it's kind of similar with idea map, kagaya nito. So you have the main topic, like for example, website. So what are the things that, or what are the terms or aspects that you can connect with that specific topic? And then you can also provide supporting details about those topics that you can relate with the main topic. Okay, halimbawa, website, you can come up with header, footer, subpages, and sidebar. So for footer, you can connect with this aspect such as contact info, navigation links, and images, so on and so forth. So um, it is called spider map. It's because um, visually it's like the spider web. Next, we have problem solution map. A solution map displays a logical analysis of the way one might arrive from the given data to the solution of the problem. The solution map includes a statement of all laws and principles used at every stage so that students' knowledge base is reinforced. Itong problem solution map, so it starts with negative implications, then you provide with a positive one, which is the solution. So merong problem, then there are alternatives on how to address the problem being presented in a graphic organizer. Okay, halimbawa, ito. The problem is bullying. So there are three parts in making a problem solution map. Problem solution map. First is you need to provide the main problem. The next, you need to provide the background of the problem, what are the possible causes, and what are the effects of the problem. Then after that, you lay out your possible solutions, all the alternatives in order to address the problem, such as this one. The problem is bullying. Then you need to contextualize the problem. You provide the definition, you need to provide the causes, effects, and then the solution. So that this is problem solution map. So there should be a problem, then the context of the problem, and then the alternatives in order to address the problem or the solutions. Next is the timeline. A timeline is a type of graphic organizer that shows a specific events in sequence, usually with dates in a linear fashion. Timelines are particularly useful for studying or reviewing history because the timeline will visually display major events over a period of time. So itong timeline, basically, it's um, you're going to lay out the events on a specific time or a specific era or a specific period. So it's up to you which events that you like to take based on the dates kung kailan siya nangyari. It's very useful in especially sa history when you study history of Roman Empire. So for example, Roman Empire, you lay out when did it start, then the succeeding events, and when did the Rome fall. So ganun siyang timelines. Meron siyang specific times specific time na naka-arrange. Just like this one. Halimbawa, what are the events? January, February, March, April for the whole year. So you can make a timeline. For example, sa events ng pandemic or sa COVID-19. So you can make a timeline when it start and ano yung mga succeeding events yung nangyari during the pandemic. Then we have plot diagram. The plot diagram is an organizational tool focusing on a pyramid or triangular shape, which is used to map the events in a story. This mapping of plot structure allows readers and writers to visualize the key features of stories. So itong plot diagram, this can be used sa yung mga stories such as novels or short stories or sa films or movies wherein you're going to arrange the events sa story. So in plot diagram, you need to consider the basic elements of plot. We have the exposition, rising action, the climax, falling action, resolution, or denouement. say exposition, it is the beginning of the story wherein the setting, the characters are being presented or introduced. So then there's rising action. So it leads to the conflict of the story, the problem, the crisis that the characters are dealing with. So this is the start that the story will develop. Then the climax, the peak of the story, meaning the highest kung sa emotion pa, this is the part wherein the emotion is being heightened. The major events are being presented. Then the falling action. The story begins to slow down and work towards its end, typing up loose ends. So falling action, the story slowly down to its ending, or ano man yung the problems are slowly being resolved. The resolution or denouement, also known as the denouement, the resolution is like a concluding paragraph that resolves any remaining issues and ends the story. Itong resolution or denouement, this is the part wherein mag-end na yung story. So this is the visual representation of plot diagram. So as you can see, there's a pyramid, and the highest peak in the plot diagram is the climax. The next series of events chain. Chain diagrams, also called sequence of events diagrams, are a type of graphic organizer that describe the stages or steps in a process. So which means that series of events chain, ito yung, it's a procedure or it's a process. Step-by-step process. It shows how to do things in order, or it's like a methodology, okay, just like this one, or the succeeding the progress of events. Okay, this one, as you can see, this is how the bill being proposed in the Congress and how it is implemented to become a law. So, for example, yung mga law natin, it started with a bill, and they are authored by the House representatives at saka mga senator. So first, proposed ng mga senators or House of Congress, then magiging bill siya, then the Congress will scrutinize, will evaluate or deliberate the bill, and then if na-approve siya ng Congress, then it will be passed to the President sa executive branch. So remember, meron tayong 3 equal branches dito sa government natin. The judiciary, the House of Representatives, at saka sa executive, yung sa President. So kapag hindi na-signan ng President yung bill after 30 days na na-receive na yung bill, it will become a law. So magiging law siya. Meron ding power ang president na i-veto yung bill, which means that pwede niya i-reject. Kung ayaw ni president na maging law yung bill na pinopose ng House of Congress, so pwede niya i-veto. Pero kapag hindi niya pinirmahan, if you will not sign the bill after 30 days, it will become a law. So that's the government process. Yun yung bureaucracy ng Philippines. Then we have fishbone map. A fishbone map is a type of graphic organizer that is used to explore the many aspects or effects of a complex topic, helping the student to organize their thoughts in a simple visual way. The use of color helps make a fishbone map clear and easier to interpret. So basically, itong fishbone map, cause and effect to siya. So dito sa bones, you present the causes. Dito naman sa head part, it's like the effect. Halimbawa, the effect is missed deadline. So this is the problem. May mga deadlines na na-miss. So what are the possible causes why you missed the deadline? So it could be about the people, about the method, the measurement, materials, environment, and machine. So you need to provide specific problems. What's with people? What's with the method? So it is specify. Next, we have cycle. Cycle diagrams are a type of graphic organizer that shows how items are related to one another in a repeating cycle. Use a cycle diagram when there is no beginning and no end to a repeating process. For example, a food chain. It's a cycle. Yung pre at saka predator sa nature. And about the research cycle. Finding information, using information, sharing information, evaluating process and content, preparing to use information. So the process is continuous siya, meaning there's no ending. The next, we have persuasion map. The persuasion map is an interactive graphic organizer that enables students to map out their arguments for a persuasive essay or debate. Students begin by determining their goal or thesis. They then identify 3 reasons to support their argument and 3 facts or examples to validate each reason. So, the persuasion map, it's useful in debate or in argumentation. So, kapag you want to present a topic which is you want to persuade people to believe with your stance or meron kang opinion about a certain topic, you can use persuasion map. Just like this one. So your stance is you need to recycle the mobile phone. So you need to provide what are the reasons why you should recycle your mobile phone. Like it saves money, it's good for environment, and it's easy. And it's not just that you're going to provide your reasons or your claims. You need to provide supporting evidence that can back up your claims. Say, how can you persuade other people if you're not going to provide logical evidence of your claims? Then you go down to your conclusion. Then next is outlining. We already discussed this one in APP. So outlining is another way of determining text structure. Okay, it shows the framework of a text through division and subdivision of ideas. Okay, in outlining, it's like the bone structure or skeletal system of a text, meaning you deconstruct the ideas presented in a text and then you divide based on the ideas present. We have 2 types of outline, the sentence outline and the topic outline. Say sentence outline, the heading of each level is 1 sentence. So, halimbawa ito, the main ideas or major ideas, then minor ideas are all written in a sentence. Sentence form siya. Dito naman sa topic outline, each level is a phrase. Naka-phrase siya. Kung major ideas written in a phrase, your minor ideas should be in phrase also. And we have a format we should follow. Main ideas are labeled with Roman numerals. Okay. Meron din tayong, pwede siya number, a number lang. That's the traditional method. We have the modern method and traditional method. But in modern, usually we use Roman numerals. Supporting ideas, developing the main ideas are labeled with capital letters tsaka indented. Kaya halimbawa ito, naka-Roman numerals yung main idea at saka minor idea naka-capital letter siya. Details developing the supporting ideas are labeled with Arabic numbers. Then naka-indent siya. Okay. Halimbawa sa example na to, the spectator, if meron kang specific details about the spectator, you need to label it with numbers under it. Tapos naka-indent siya. Then minor details, developing the details with small letters indented. And that's the end of our discussion. Okay, do you have questions, clarifications about our topic? Okay, guys, by the way, I already posted the PDF of our or of your that sa yung PT sa reading and writing, which is the reflection essay about the book Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. I already posted. I hope na nabasa na ninyo so that makahinay-hinay na mo o sulat so that you have ideas na what you're going to write with your reflective essay. I just checked our Schoology na dito naka-folder na siya. And then later sa tuang PR1, we will meet ha. Do you have questions, clarifications? Okay, if none, I think
Ano,
that's it. Yes.
Question sa sir, sa activity.
Sa activity. Yes. What's with activity,
Sa
Freya?
reading and writing. Activity number 2, sir.
Activity
Kaning
number 2.
classify each question or statement based on kana, sir.
Wait, let me check the module. What lesson, Freya?
Kaning lesson 1, sir.
Lesson 1. Wait.
Critical thinking. Activity 2.
Activity 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, di ba sa first lesson, although itong gi-record na ako, it's about the Bloom's taxonomy. Diba, there are 6 levels of thinking, cognitive thinking, yung remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So halimbawa, ito sa question na what does the narrative reveal about the character's feelings toward the girl? So which specific level is this? Remembering ba siya? Understanding? Applying? Analyzing, evaluating, then what's your answer to the question? Itong question na, what does the narrative reveal about the character's feelings toward the girl? Okay na, Freya?
Okay na, sir.
Nagets na?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Nagets na.
Okay. No more questions? I think that's it. See you later for our practical research one. I'm going to end the conference na. Bye, guys.